G'day viewers, welcome to another super cool repair video from the Goat Shed. It's Friday, November 10th, 2023 and we're back to work on Jungle Queen. Now it's currently 24 degrees Celsius outside here in Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia. It's a lovely day and that's approximately 75.2 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I think that's going to drive us all mad, those blinking lights on the score reels. It's got LEDs in. That's terrible. I think we'll get rid of those real soon. But we've done the motorboard on this game and let's start it up and see what happens. Okay. Oh, that drive me mad, those lights. Let's just do one quick thing. Remember we did that modification to the relay, to the E for Edward relay and the P for Peter relay. And now, just to make sure that relay is working, that was the 500 point add bonus, I'll just press that in on the motorboard. And we should score 500 points. Hey, wow, we did. So that's good, that's working. Now, let's have a quick look at the motorboard here. All back in the machine. Because I don't think we can look at those lights too much longer. I hate LEDs in electromechanical games. I don't care what anyone says, they might look pretty, but they're just doing what it's doing up there is just crazy. Well, probably put incandescence in there. So there's the coin unit back in down there. We overhauled that, it's all good. The score motor came up nice, you can see that's all nice and shiny. And we've pulled every relay out and gone through it, and it's all good. Now, just while we've got, or looking at this here, I just want to point something out to you. I don't know whether we can see it. Can we or can't we? Yeah, we sort of can. On these later games, on the ball roll tilt, there's three switches. Sorry, there's three wires that go onto the switches. Now, because this machine has a tilt hold relay on it, it's important the way they go back on. So we had a guy here recently on Fun with Pinball. He had a, what was it?
The Bronco, wasn't it?
No, I think it was a Royal Flush. Whatever it was, from the day he bought it, it kept on going in a tilt hold. Oh no, I know what it was. It was a Joker Poker, an EM Joker Poker.
Okay,
because it was getting to the point where a friend of ours here has a Joker Poker EM, and we were going to get him to have a look and see how his was wired up. Now, he maintains there was an error on the schematic, which is I never looked at, so I can't confirm or deny that, but just be careful if you take those off. Righto, that's the three there. Ensure they go back on the same way, or your machine will go into tilt. Now, we've done the Playfield up, it's all good to go, and what we're going to do now is we're going to put that Playfield in and we'll see how it all pans out. We're fairly confident it should work okay. I guess, let me just tilt the game. So I'll see him tilt that by operating that. And what we'll do, we'll start it up again and we'll just make sure it goes into 4 players. I'm just going to have to subject you to that terrible lighting. So let's go, let's start it up again. Okay, player 1 up in the top left hand corner. Can we see that in the screen? Player 2. Player 3, and that thump you hear's the coin unit. Player 4, and the switch should be open at end of stroke on the coin unit, which it is. And now we shouldn't be able to add any more players.
And the machine's on free play as well.
Yeah, and the machine's already set on free play, which is good because we had no credits up there. Alright, So we're ready to put the Playfield back in now and do a bit of troubleshooting
Well,
from
we
here.
go through the test the rollovers from 9 to 0. You want to do that? While we've got it there.
Oh yeah, well we could, yeah. So what we'll do,
We'll test all the score rules and
make sure they're carrying.
Yeah.
Oh, we can do that. Yeah, that's carried over. That's beautiful. Yeah, okay. I'll just take the camera off there because that's really annoying, that light blinking. I wouldn't like to be looking at that. And they're all carrying over on player 2. He's manually moved the player unit to player 3. That's all going good. The hundreds to 1000s, the 1000s to 10,000s. Yep, fine. Player 4. Must have done a good job servicing the score rails and switches. They're all working. Okay, so that's all good. So yeah, we'll put the Playfield back in now and take it from there and see what else we have to do or what doesn't work.
I think it's a pretty tidy machine.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have any problem.
Yeah.
But,
There's the Chime unit. What?
the only trouble is that we've got to hardwire these, so we might have put a connector on them.
Oh, that's right. They were soldered on. Yeah. Someone's broke.
So they're coils from the early 70s or late 60s. So they've been changed.
Yeah, that's right. They've got the cardboardy thing on.
Mention that too.
But flip it over so they can see. There's the there it is, and they're all polished up nicely. So we generally do that with the chime bars. Look, it takes 10 minutes to do the whole 3 chime bars, and then we polish them with auto sol. So whether you do that or not is up to you, but believe me, it does alter the noise or the sound of the chime bar because they're a lot cleaner. So consider doing that, people. Good tip. Right, well, we'll have to fit those chimes back in, but we've been doing a little bit more testing on Jungle Queen, and we found a couple of problems. One was when we closed the Playfield from the service position and latch it, as you sort of bump the Playfield, we were scoring 5,000 points. Now, we had a look and the switches were all clean, we'd already done all that, but what we discovered, I'm going to show you so I can use a switch out of a machine to illustrate what the problem was. But before we do that, let's have another look at this game. We're currently on player 2, and here we go. We're going to have those damn lights flashing. We haven't done anything about that yet, changed them, but we will. Now you watch what happens. We're on 29,820. I'm going to score 500 points, and notice it didn't roll over to the 10,000 point. So there's a couple of things involved in that circuit, and we'll have a look at that in a minute and see what we can discover. Actually, it's not a huge problem, but it's not the 9 carryover switch on the 1000s reel, as a lot of people would probably suspect. So yeah, let's just take a quick look at that. So here's the part of the schematic we need to be at. We're looking at the add second 10,000s unit. Now for that coil to fire, what needs to happen, the 9th position switch must be closed on the second 1000s, and a switch on P2A has to be closed. Now, it would appear that this is where our problem is, this switch on P2A, because our run-out switch, which is located here, that's all to do with the resetting on Z1. So, and we know the other parts of the score reel are firing because that all goes back here to motor 1, where are we? I've lost it. Yeah, it comes off the motor switch. Now, what we'll do with this, we'll have a look at this switch on the P2A, and one or two things, there's links on those switches. It could have a broken link from that slate and yellow, or goes through to others as well. It goes through to the fourth, the third and the first. So that's working, the first is working, but we don't know about the second or the third or the fourth. But let's concentrate on this switch here on P2A and see what we can determine from there. So I'll actually get a jumper wire and we'll jump across that and see what's happening. But first, before we do that, let's have another look at something. Let's have a look at that switch we were just talking about. This is typical of these switches that are under the Playfield, that one switch is for the scoring and the other is for like extra ball or specials or whatever it is. Now, you clean the switches and you close them, and they all close fine. But at rest, notice something. The switch strengthener, which is this curved bit of metal here, or stiffener some people call it, is touching that bottom switch. The one here is not. So what that has the ability to do, to give it like a rapid, when it hits it quick, the ball, it could bounce. And that's exactly what the problem was with this machine. This wasn't adjusted correctly, and it wasn't touching there. So all we had to do was get our switch adjuster. I think I've got the right one here. Get it in there and move it down. And there you can see that we've achieved that now. So that makes a huge difference, and that remedied that fault straight away. Bear in mind there's no screw stacks in these, so they're a little bit loose, but that's what you do. Now, I had to use a switchblade adjuster with a slightly wider gap. We have a few, we make the gap a bit wider on some to fit in on those type of things, makes it a little bit easier for you. Right, now let's move on back to this carryover problem. So what I've done, I've put a little green jump wire across those two switches. That was the slate and yellow and the black and white. And now we'll go and see if it carries over, because I'm 99% sure that's our problem. Alright, let's score 500 points and see what happens. And there you go, it carried over. So that switch is our problem. That'll either require a little bit of cleaning or adjusting. And of course it's on level A, which is the very bottom switch. Remember, when you're talking switch stacks, A is 9 times out of 10 the bottom switch. So let's fix that up, and that will remedy that fault. So pretty much we're still carrying on a little bit more testing, and what we'll show you anything else we may find. But other than that, everything seems to be going okay. I guess we'll have to test players 3 and 4 as well, but we like to go 1, 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4 in that order. Well, we're just completing our testing of this game. We've found a few little problems. Graham's working on that switch there now with the red base. When we had special, we noticed that we were getting 2 replays, so there was a bit of vibration on one of the switches. Now this gets onto the fact that the switch strengthener was allowing the switches to sort of vibrate, and of course it lands in the hole and the switch's strengthener isn't doing its job, and bam, bam, you get 2 replays. Pretty good if you're the player, I guess, and you're paying coins for it. Now, we did find another little problem in the score rails on the back. Now, it wasn't a major problem. I'll try and get around the back and we'll show you in a moment. It was just to do with the player 1 100 points rule, and this particular game has those, they're like ladders in there, switch stacks, and there just wasn't really enough upstroke on the ladder. We've just connected up the chimes and they're all working nicely. So overall this game's going pretty good now. So we're fairly lucky, we haven't had too many major issues with it. Okay, we've got that score reel in the shot now. Now, Graham just pointed to the white ladder there, and that was our problem. So what was happening, the switches weren't consistently ending up in the right spot, and because that ladder was a bit flimsy, they are now. So it was mainly to do with the run out switch, which in this case is the middle switch, and the bottom switch, the zero switch. So now we're very confident we've got it working well.
The main problem is one that I just remembered, is that this bit that fits into the score reel was loose. And what was happening is that when the score reel would sort of go down with the switches, that was staying there, so it wasn't getting no pressure on the switches. So we had to replace that with one that actually fits snug under the top of the score reel.
Oh, now he's talking about the plastic
the plastic spacer grommet thing
part there that's got the little grooves in it that sit there. Yeah, that seemed to be a bit worn. So,
and as soon as I replaced it with a good one that fit in there snugly, the problem went away pretty well straight away.
Okay.
That's something you don't see. I've never seen that before. Where the reel was moving, but everything up there was staying still, and that was pretty well the problem.
There's the offending party there. Just drop that down a bit more, Graham. Just let it hang there. This.
Yeah.
This spacer. I mean,
something you wouldn't think of.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. Now, the other thing, earlier, or in the last video we made, we pointed out a wire, there it is there, that seemed to be going nowhere. This wire here. Now, on investigation, what we've discovered is that we're going to remove that wire. It was soldered onto the top left leg of the right-hand Jones plug.
Female side.
A female side, and there's a orange and brown wire coming under the male side.
And it's going down off the small plug.
You may recall that we had an extra switch associated, or not associated, fitted onto the player unit. We believe this wire had something to do with that. So this wire is not required, and we're going to take that out.
And actually this whole male Jones plug is being replaced at some stage.
Yeah, someone's been up to something here.
So this is basically going nowhere.
So that's gone.
So someone's put this in.
That's not going to bother anyone from now on in.
No.
Alright, well, pretty much Jungle Queen's finished. We'll turn it on and give you a little look at it in a moment. Just before we turn it on, I want to show you something else. Here's a little project we've had going on the side. This is a pro football cabinet, and Graham traced the stencil off one we had in here a few months ago.
That's the wreck there.
And it's also a brand new head box cabinet. So yeah, there's the old cabinet. She fell apart, so the owner decided to buy a new light box. He didn't buy the base. It's quite okay, and Graham hand traced those stencils. Now, anyone that's new to our channel, and if you're watching, we've previously done videos on how to trace the stencils, how we apply a special tape on there and cut them out and paint them. So I'm not going to cover all that here. You can go back and watch our video, but that's all done. We only have to do the front. The other side's also done.
And then the clear coat.
And clear coat it. The owner will collect that on
Saturday,
this coming weekend, on Saturday, I believe. He's currently overseas. So, looks pretty good, doesn't it? We decided to leave those LEDs in, so I won't spare you the pain. I'll take it off there in a moment. We felt we probably should ask the owner what they wanted to do about it. They might like them. We don't. But yeah, it's all good now. So
Just I've got a few light bulbs to do. But that's
oh yeah, okay, yep. So see the flickering, you can see it flickering off there. It's terrible, isn't it? It's absolutely shocking. So it's all good to go. We'll just roll over and you can hear the chimes. There's a nice. How's the 10 points? They sound good, those chimes, because remember we go to the trouble of polishing the chime bars, and that does make a difference. Oh, what have we got? Okay, so hang on, we've got we're on 8,000, we've got a 4,000 bonus, so beautiful. Okay, so one Jungle Queen. So now we have a Gottlieb 4-player machine performing as it should, and it's working very, very nicely. A lot better than what it was when it came in the front door. So thanks so much for watching another one of our videos. Don't forget to give us the thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and when you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell button to get notifications of when we put things up. Now this has been another GoShed presentation.